The rain pounded against the window like accusing fingers as Naomi clutched the phone, her voice breaking. "You can't do this to us after everything we've built?" On the other end, a cold laugh echoed, sealing the betrayal that would shatter their world. Naomi Harper had always believed in second chances. Growing up in the bustling streets of Chicago, she'd seen enough broken lives to know that kindness could be a lifeline. At 35, after losing her own parents in a car accident, she channeled her grief into action. She volunteered at shelters, mentored at-risk youth, and eventually opened her home in a quiet suburb of Seattle to foster children no one else wanted. That's how the 5 girls came into her life one by one, like scattered puzzle pieces finding their fit. First was Aaliyah, a fiery 12-year-old with skin like polished mahogany and eyes that held the weight of abandonment. Found wandering the streets after her addict mother vanished, Aaliyah arrived with nothing but a backpack and a defiant glare. "I don't need anyone," she'd spat on that first day, but Naomi saw the fear beneath the bravado. She cooked Aaliyah's favorite soul food, collard greens and cornbread, and sat with her through the nightmares, whispering stories of strong women who rose from ashes. Then came Bella, 13, pale and quiet, rescued from a neglectful home in rural Oregon. Her whispers about liking girls more than boys were secrets Naomi guarded like treasures. Clara followed, a bubbly 14-year-old Latina from Los Angeles, whose laughter hid the scars of domestic violence. Dana, 15, with her sharp wit and Asian heritage, had bounced through foster homes in San Francisco, labeled trouble, for her questions about identity. Last was Elena, the youngest at 11, a blonde Midwestern girl whose family disowned her after a fire claimed their farm. Naomi's home became a sanctuary, mornings filled with pancakes and school runs, evenings with homework and heart-to-hearts. She worked as a social worker by day, scraping by on a modest salary, but her real wealth was in the bonds forming under her roof. "We're family now," she'd say, gathering them for movie nights in the living room, where they'd pile on the worn couch with popcorn and dreams. Years blurred into a tapestry of milestones. High school graduations, first jobs, college applications. Naomi cheered at Aaliyah's track meets, where the girls sprinted like she was outrunning her past. She held Bella through her first heartbreak, a crush on a classmate that ended in tears. Clara's quinceañera was a backyard extravaganza, with Naomi dancing awkwardly to reggaeton. Dana's debate wins filled the house with pride, and Elena's art adorned every wall. But beneath the surface, tensions simmered. Society's gaze on their unconventional family was often unkind. Whispers in the neighborhood about that single woman with all those girls fueled Naomi's resolve, but also her isolation. She dated sporadically, men who never stuck around, women who intrigued her but faded. Deep down, Naomi had always known her heart leaned toward women, a truth she buried in her youth amid conservative Midwestern roots. Raising the girls kept her focused, but loneliness crept in like fog over Puget Sound. Aaliyah was the first to notice. At 18, home from community college for the summer, she found Naomi crying over old photos. "Mom," she said, the title they'd all adopted. "You deserve love too." Naomi waved it off, but Aaliyah's words lingered. That summer, Aaliyah confided her own secret. She was falling for her roommate, Jamie, a soft-spoken artist with freckles and a laugh like wind chimes. "Is that okay?" Aaliyah asked, voice trembling. Naomi pulled her into a hug. "More than okay. It's beautiful." It was the spark that ignited revelations. Bella came out next, admitting her high school whispers were truths she'd feared voicing. Clara followed, her vibrant energy channeling into advocacy for LGBTQ+ rights at her university. The three, Aaliyah, Bella, and Clara, formed a tight-knit trio, their coming out a celebration amid Seattle's progressive vibe. Pride parades, support groups, first dates, they navigated it all with Naomi's unwavering support. But not everyone rejoiced. Dana, now 22 and working in tech, grew distant. Her conservative boyfriend, Mark, from a wealthy family, filled her ears with judgments. "This isn't normal," he'd say, eyeing the rainbow flags in the house. Elena, the youngest at 19, struggled silently, her art turning darker as she grappled with her own identity. Naomi faced her own storm. At 50, a routine checkup revealed a lump, breast cancer. She kept it quiet at first, not wanting to burden the girls. But as treatments began, the facade cracked. Chemotherapy drained her, and bills piled up despite insurance. The girls rallied. Aaliyah took a second job, Bella cooked meals, Clara organized fundraisers. Yet whispers of doubt crept in. Was this family strong enough to withstand the gales ahead? One evening, as rain lashed the windows, Naomi gathered them. "We've come so far," she said, her voice steady despite the fatigue. "But life tests us. Promise me we'll face it together." They nodded, hands linked, unaware that betrayal lurked in the shadows, ready to unravel everything. The diagnosis hit like a thunderclap, but Naomi soldiered on, her spirit a beacon for the girls. Mornings now included hospital visits, where she'd joke with nurses about her bad hair days from the wig. Aaliyah drove her, holding her hand through the nausea. "You're the strongest person I know," Aaliyah would say, her eyes misty. Their bond deepened, evolving from mother-daughter to confidants. Aaliyah shared stories of Jamie, the way their hands fit perfectly, the quiet nights stargazing on the Space Needle's observation deck. Naomi listened, her heart swelling with pride and a touch of envy for the love blooming in youth. Bella found solace in activism. She volunteered at a local LGBTQ+ center, organizing events that brought the community together. One night she met Sophia, a passionate lawyer with dark curls and a fire for justice. Their first date was at a cozy cafe in Capitol Hill, where conversations flowed like the coffee, deep, invigorating. "You've got a fighter's spirit," Sophia said, and Bella blushed, feeling seen for the first time. Clara's romance was whirlwind. At a campus rally she locked eyes with Mia, a fellow student with a guitar and a voice that could soothe storms. They bonded over shared heritage and dreams of change. Picnics in Discovery Park, stolen kisses under cherry blossoms. Clara's world expanded, her laughter echoing through the house once more. But cracks appeared. Dana's visits grew rare, her calls terse. Mark's influence was evident. He'd scoff at the phase the others were in. "Real families don't flaunt that stuff," he'd mutter. Naomi tried talking to Dana, but arguments ensued. "You're enabling confusion," Dana accused one night, her words slicing deep. Elena, caught in the middle, withdrew into her sketchbook, drawing scenes of fractured families. The danger Naomi faced wasn't just illness. An anonymous letter arrived, postmarked from Portland. "Freaks like you don't deserve a family. Watch your back." Naomi dismissed it as a crank, but more followed, threats scrawled in hate. The neighborhood, once tolerant, turned hostile after a local news story on alternative families. Graffiti appeared on their fence. "Sinners out." Aaliyah confronted the fear head-on. "We need to report this," she insisted, but Naomi hesitated, not wanting to alarm the others. Secretly, she hired a private investigator, dipping into savings. The trail led to Mark's family, a prominent conservative clan with ties to anti-LGBTQ groups. Betrayal stung when evidence pointed to Dana leaking family details during a heated argument. Confrontation came on a crisp autumn evening. The girls gathered for dinner, but tension crackled. Dana arrived with Mark, his smug grin infuriating. "We need to talk," Naomi said, laying out the letters. Dana's face paled. I didn't mean for this to happen. I just vented to Mark's dad about how things are changing." The room erupted. Aaliyah stood, fists clenched. "Vented? You betrayed us." Bella's tears flowed freely. Clara's anger boiled over in Spanish curses. Elena fled to her room, slamming the door. Mark defended Dana, spewing rhetoric about traditional values, until Naomi silenced him. "Get out. Both of you." Dana lingered, eyes pleading. "Mom, I love you, but this isn't what I signed up for." Naomi's heart broke. Family isn't about signing up. It's about showing up. Dana left in tears, the door's click echoing like a finality. In the aftermath, Naomi's health worsened. Chemo rounds left her bedridden, the house a whirlwind of care. Aaliyah and Jamie moved in temporarily, their presence a balm. One night, as Aaliyah tucked Naomi in, she whispered, "What if we lose you?" Naomi squeezed her hand. "You won't. And even if, you've got each other." But the threats escalated. A brick through the window, shattering glass in piece. Police were involved, but leads were thin. Sophia, Bella's girlfriend, offered legal aid, filing restraining orders. Mia rallied friends for a vigil outside the house, candles flickering in solidarity. Amid the chaos, love persisted. Aaliyah proposed to Jamie on a rainy Seattle ferry ride. The city's skyline a blurred backdrop. Through storms and sun, Aaliyah said, ring in hand. Jamie accepted, tears mingling with rain. The news brought joy to the fractured family, a reminder of resilience. Elena finally opened up, admitting her confusion. I think I like girls too, she confessed to Naomi. But I'm scared. Naomi hugged her. Fear is part of the journey. We're here. As winter approached, Naomi's scan showed progress, the cancer retreating. But Dana's absence loomed, a wound unhealed. Whispers of reconciliation floated, but betrayal's scar ran deep. The family, now 4 strong with partners in tow, braced for whatever came next. Their bonds tested but unbroken. Healing came in waves, much like the Pacific Ocean lapping at Seattle's shores. Naomi's remission was announced on a sunny spring day, the girls erupting in cheers. A backyard barbecue celebrated, with laughter drowning out memories of fear. Aaliyah and Jamie planned their wedding. A simple affair at Gasworks Park, overlooking Lake Union. Invitations went out, including one to Dana marked with hope. But drama lingered. Elena's coming out was tentative, her art reflecting inner turmoil. She met Riley, a non-binary artist at a gallery opening, their connection sparking over shared canvases. You see the world in colors I didn't know existed, Elena said on their first walk along Alki Beach. Riley's gentle presence helped Elena embrace her truth, but whispers from the past haunted her. Dana's judgments echoing. Clara and Mia faced their own trial. Mia's family, devout Catholics from Texas, disapproved. A visit turned ugly, with accusations flying. This is a sin, Mia's mother declared. Clara stood firm. Love isn't a sin. Hatred is. The couple returned home bruised but united, channeling pain into advocacy. They started a podcast on queer latings experiences, voices amplifying from their basement studio. Bella and Sophia's relationship deepened amid professional synergy. Sophia took on pro bono cases for LGBTQ+ families, inspired by Naomi's story. One case mirrored theirs. A foster parent threatened by bigots. We're fighting for futures like ours, Sophia said, kissing Bella under the stars. Naomi, recovering, reflected on her life. At a support group she met Lydia, a fellow survivor with silver hair and a warm smile. Their coffee dates evolved into walks in Volunteer Park, hands brushing tentatively. I've hidden too long, Naomi admitted one evening. Lydia nodded. It's never too late for your own coming out. The wedding day dawned bright. Aaliyah, in a flowing white dress, walked down the aisle with Naomi. Jamie waited, eyes shining. Vows exchanged amid tears. In you I found home. The reception buzzed with joy, dancing, toasts, cake. Even Elena brought Riley, their hand holding a quiet declaration. But absence stung. Dana didn't come, her RSVP a polite decline. Days later a letter arrived. I need time. I'm sorry. Naomi wept, but Aaliyah comforted her. She'll come around. Blood isn't what makes family. Love is.
Danger resurfaçait unexpectedly.
Mark's family, undeterred by legal warnings, funded a smear campaign online. Posts labeled Naomi a corrupter of youth, twisting their story. Hate mail surged, a protest planned outside their home. Sophia mobilized counter-protests, media outreach. We won't hide, she declared. The climax hit on a tense Saturday. Protesters gathered, signs waving venom. Inside the family huddled. Then a knock, Dana alone, face streaked with tears. I was wrong, she said, stepping in. Mark's gone. I saw the hate he bred. Hugs followed, forgiveness tentative but real. Outside chants grew. But counter-protesters arrived, friends, allies, the community. Clara's podcast followers, Bella's center volunteers. Even Lydia with her group. They formed a human chain, songs of unity overpowering hate. Police dispersed the agitators, the day ending in triumph. Reconciliation mended wounds. Dana apologized profusely, vowing change. I let fear blind me, she admitted. The family expanded, partners becoming siblings-in-law. Naomi and Lydia's romance blossomed, a late-blooming flower in the garden of their lives. Summer brought peace. Picnics, road trips down the coast. Aaliyah and Jamie honeymooned in Hawaii, sending postcards of paradise. Back home, Naomi hosted family dinners, the table full once more. Yet, life's fragility lingered. Naomi's checkups were clear, but she cherished each moment. "We've weathered storms," she toasted one night. "Here's to calm seas ahead." Elena's art show debuted, pieces depicting their journey. Abstract swirls of color representing love's triumph over betrayal. Critics raved, her future bright. As fall leaves turned, the family reflected. From abandoned girls to empowered women, their paths intertwined in a narrative of resilience. Naomi, the anchor, watched with pride. "We're more than survivors," she said. "We're thrivers." With bonds reforged, the family navigated new chapters. Dana's return was gradual. Awkward dinners evolving into genuine conversations. She enrolled in therapy, unpacking biases ingrained by Mark's world. "I almost lost everything," she confessed to Naomi. "Thank you for giving me another chance." Naomi smiled. "That's what family does." Aaliyah and Jamie settled into married life, buying a small apartment in Ballard. Weekends brought them back for brunches, where stories flowed freely. Aaliyah's career in social work mirrored Naomi's, helping foster kids find homes. "You're my inspiration," she told Naomi, hugging her tight. Bella and Sophia tied the knot in a courthouse ceremony, intimate and fierce. Their honeymoon in New York City, Broadway shows, Central Park strolls, cemented their partnership. Back in Seattle, they advocated tirelessly, testifying before lawmakers on family protections. "Our story matters," Bella said in a speech, voice steady. Clara and Mia's podcast soared, gaining national attention. Interviews with celebrities, funding for expansions. They traveled to conferences, hands linked defiantly. "We're changing narratives," Clara beamed. Mia nodded. "One voice at a time." Elena and Riley's relationship flourished in creativity. Joint exhibits, collaborative murals adorning community centers. Elena's confidence grew, her once dark art now vibrant. "You helped me see the light," she told Riley during a Sunset Beach picnic. Naomi and Lydia's love was a gentle unfolding. Dates at jazz clubs, weekends hiking in the Olympics. Lydia moved in, her presence filling the house with new energy. "You've built something extraordinary," Lydia said, admiring the family photos. Naomi blushed. "We did it together." But life, ever unpredictable, threw curves. A health scare for Clara. A car accident on I-5 rattled them. Rushed to the hospital, she emerged with bruises but unbroken spirit. The family converged, support unwavering. "We're invincible together," Clara joked from her bed. External threats faded, but internal conflicts arose. Dana struggled with guilt, withdrawing again. A family therapy session uncovered depths, her fear of not fitting in amid the outpouring of queer identities. "I feel like the odd one out," she admitted. Tears flowed, understandings bridged. "You're part of us always," Aaliyah assured. Romance wove through it all. Aaliyah and Jamie discussed adoption, dreaming of their own family. "We'll give them what we got, love without limits," Jamie said. Bella and Sophia mentored young couples, sharing wisdom. Clara proposed to Mia on air, the podcast episode going viral. Elena's big break came. A commission for a mural at the Seattle Art Museum. Depicting diverse families, it symbolized their saga. The unveiling was emotional, Naomi's speech bringing applause. "From 5 lost girls to a tapestry of strength. This is our legacy." Naomi's own journey culminated in advocacy. She spoke at events, her story inspiring. "Kindness isn't weakness," she'd say. "It's the ultimate power." Lydia by her side, they planned a future. Travels, perhaps a book. As years ticked by, the girls, now women in their 30s, scattered slightly. Aaliyah in Portland, Bella in DC for policy work, Clara touring with her show, Dana in San Francisco rebuilding, Elena in local studios. But holidays brought them home. The suburb housed a constant. One Christmas, snow blanketing the ground, they gathered. Stories retold, laughter echoing. Naomi, graying but vibrant, raised a glass. "To the storms we survived, and the sunshine we earned." Betrayal's shadow had taught them forgiveness, danger, unity. Their loves, deep varied, enriched the narrative. In America's mosaic, they were a vibrant thread, proving family is chosen, love unbound. Yet a final twist loomed. Naomi's cancer returned, aggressive this time. The news hit like a tidal wave. Treatments resumed but prognosis dimmed. Fight like hell, Aaliyah urged, but Naomi smiled sadly. I've lived fully. Now it's your turn. The family rallied, rotating care, cherishing moments. Walks in the park, movie marathons, heartfelt talks. Lydia held Naomi's hand through it all. You're my greatest adventure, she whispered. As spring bloomed, Naomi weakened. In her final days, surrounded by her daughters and their loves, she spoke softly. Love fiercely. Forgive freely. That's the human way. She passed peacefully, the room filled with tears and gratitude. The funeral was a celebration, stories, songs, rainbows. They scattered her ashes at the sound, waves carrying her spirit. Grief bonded them tighter. The house sold, proceeds funding a foundation in her name for foster families and LGBTQ+ support. In the wake of loss, the women carried Naomi's legacy forward. Aaliyah and Jamie adopted twins, 2 little girls from the system, echoing the past. We'll tell them about Grandma Naomi, Aaliyah said, cradling the babies. Their home in Portland became a haven, filled with the same warmth. Bella and Sophia in D.C. lobbied for laws protecting queer families. Victories came, bills passed, rights secured. This is for her, Bella said at a signing ceremony, voice choked. Their apartment overlooked the Potomac, a base for change. Clara and Mia's empire grew. A media company amplifying marginalized voices. Married now, they balanced work with family, adopting a son. Diversity is our strength, Clara preached, her TED Talk inspiring millions. Dana, redeemed, founded a nonprofit bridging divides. Workshops on empathy for conservative communities. She dated openly, finding love with a kind-hearted teacher. I learned from the best, she told her sisters during visits. Elena and Riley opened a gallery, showcasing emerging queer artists. Their wedding was artistic, vows amid sculptures. Creativity heals, Elena mused, her work evolving into symbols of hope. They gathered annually at the Sound, picnics honoring Naomi. Stories shared, laughter mingling with tears. Lydia joined, a link to the past. She'd be proud, she'd say. Time softened edges but memories endured. The 3 who came out, Aaliyah, Bella, Clara, inspired the next generation. Elena, too, embraced her identity fully. Dana's journey showed growth possible. In America's heart, their story whispered. Kindness forges families. Love conquers peril. Betrayal teaches. Humanity prevails. Years later, a biographer chronicled it. A book titled after Naomi's words. It touched hearts, proving one woman's compassion could ripple eternally. The end wasn't tragic but profoundly human. Lives intertwined, love's eternal, legacies bright.